This is kale that's a volunteer from when I was starting everything here in the greenhouse. He's gonna have to come out because I need to put a tarp down here to mix my soil. Wow, check that out. Look at those roots. The other day when it was not raining, I went out to the pile of sand and soil and shoveled that into a wheelbarrow and got it in here to this bed. Soil the sand, got some peat moss, I got some compost. It's raining outside, so I'm inside the greenhouse doing things, and what I've always wanted to do is get my starter soil ready in the fall so that I'd have it for the spring. I run all my material for the starter soil through the screen, so I don't have any big chunks that, you know, so seeds don't get stuck under a little rock, a little pebble or something. So what I did was just staple it around the top. So after a couple years, it's just come loose. So what I want to do today is pull this new screen over and under the sides here, and in such a way that I don't like grab it and get my hands poked on this pokey edge. So that's what I'm going to do first today. I've got new screen, staple gun, and more staples if I run out. I'm just going to rip this old screen off. Don't have wire cutters. I had to go back out in the rain up to the house to get these wire cutters. I don't know what I was thinking. I was going to gnaw through that wire with my teeth or something. One side done. Okay, so I just took each of these two sides, folded them under, and stapled along the edge. These ends are going to be a little bit different. I'm going to fold them like a Christmas package. Push it down here. Bend this end over to try and get the pokies out of the way. Does that cover it? It does. Show and tell. The other end just like it. Grab the starter soil mix recipe from here in our library. It's our temporary bookshelf on our temporary stairs. Let's see. Okay, we got Eliot Coleman, The New Organic Grower. This book actually got me interested in organic farming. And he does his own soil blocks, which I don't do. I use the plastic starter trays. But I do use his soil block recipe. Except for I don't use the black peat. I just use the brown peat because that's all I can get a hold of. And I use it in different ratios. I'll take a look at my journal. These are my notes from when I was gardening out at Christine Jenkins' property in 2013 and 2014. So let's see. 1.5 buckets of brown peat, 1 bucket of sand, less than a half bucket of soil, a little bit greater than 1 bucket of compost, screened to 1/8 inch, add a 1/2 cup of lime, and 1.5 cups of base fertilizer. So what I do is take my handy dandy screen, put it on top of my bucket. It is a balmy 47 degrees outside and inside the greenhouse. Usually I'd have to be a lot more bundled up. Alright, so I've got a full bucket of peat moss. I throw all the ingredients for the soil mix on the tarp, and then I use the tarp to kind of mix it up. I'll show you that later. So I do the light stuff first. So I'm going to throw this peat moss on this tarp. Bucket number 1. I need to do 1.5 buckets of peat. Another 1/2 bucket of peat is finished going through the screen. And I'll throw this on the tarp. And next we'll move on to soil. The soil and sand and compost and everything is just a little bit damp, but it's just not going to really dry out this time of year. So we're just going to go for it. The problem with the soil is it gets kind of, when it's a little bit damp, it gums up in the metal screen here. It's just kind of a pain in the butt. Okay, we got about a 1/2 bucket of soil. That's all we need for this mix. I'm going to throw this on the tarp, on top of the peat moss. Alrighty, next up should be compost. So this compost came in bags that we shipped up on the barge from the lower 48, and it's wet too. Not the best compost in the world. We're gonna try this compost. It's even way wetter than the dirt, the soil that I was just screening through here. So we'll give her a try. It's not that bad. Not any worse than the soil, really. I say that right now. I guess this is the downside of doing the starter soil in the fall, is that I can't get everything dry. Yesterday I tried to screen that compost, that wet compost, through the metal screen, and it just wasn't working. It was kind of balling up, and I was just getting a very little bit down at the bottom of the bucket, and it was going to take forever. I'm going to put out a tarp at the end here and spread the compost out really thin, and at the end of this week we're supposed to have a stretch of sunny days, so maybe it will get warmer in the greenhouse, just enough to kind of dry it out. And then I'm going to give it a try and see if I can't screen that stuff through. If not, I'm just going to have to give up on doing starter soil this fall and just wait till it's warm in the spring.